Morning to you all. Happy 10th of December, Tuesday morning. A grey day, but a busy one ahead, and probably for lots of us it gets busier and busier as time seems to collapse the nearer it gets to Christmas, or whatever other holiday you might celebrate during the year. You get nearer and nearer and time shrinks. I think it's something to do with relativity. Anyway, I'm going to hang my number 10. It's probably the last one I can get in before I actually need the ladders again. So I'm putting up my 4th day of Christmas today, and a calling bird is an old English name for a blackbird. So I did him with a blackbird and a yellow beak. And I think he is going to go, oh, I turn you round, and he's going to go here. Round the button. There you are, Mr. Blackbird. There he is, having a dance on the garland, along with number 10. Well, I hope you're all keeping well and getting on with all your preparations if you're celebrating Christmas. I don't seem to have that much to prepare for the actual day, in a way, because there'll only be me and Wendy and Luke here. It'll just be a nice relaxed time, and it's the way I like it. I've also was loving reading the comments about people telling me their different Christmas traditions, and there was one lovely one that was telling me about German traditions, and it was one called Barberzweig, and I had to look that up, and it was about bringing a branch of cherry tree into the house and hopefully it blooms by Christmas. Well, that sounded thoroughly lovely, and I do have a cherry tree. So I have cut a branch of tree and I've put it in a vase. It's only a little branch of tree, but big enough. And this morning I saw that there was green showing through the buds. So I'm really excited about that. Whether it'll actually bloom by Christmas but I think it will have its sheets open. I don't know. And there was another word associated as well, but off the top of my head I don't think I can pronounce it properly, so I'll just leave that one for the moment. But it was a thoroughly lovely message to read, and I've loved reading all of them. People whose dads went out cutting trees down on Christmas Eve, and people who just had tangerines and sixpences in the toes of their stockings. That definitely reminds me of my childhood. The tangerine, the sixpence, and a chocolate Santy. You could, I mean, Christmas wouldn't have been Christmas without those in the toe of your stocking. And I think those were the days when your stocking was your stocking, that was your present. And you just didn't have piles and piles of things. It was just whatever fit in the stocking. I can remember my mum giving Wendy and I Cindy dolls, and she had made us both a wardrobe for the clothes made out of shoebox, and a set of drawers to keep things in, and the drawers were made of matchboxes glued together with drawing pin handles, and it had been covered in wallpaper to make the bonny pattern, and my mum had made clothes to fit in the wardrobes, and I remember that particularly as a present. I'm not sure whether Wendy will. I'll have to ask her whether she can remember that, but we would have been quite little then. Maybe I was about 7, so Wendy'd only be 4 or 5, so I'll have to ask her and see if she remembers that. And I can remember my brothers, who were smaller again, getting colouring books and pencils, or little reading books, little ladybird reading books. That's what they got as well. Today's video is a Phenology Wheel, so you'll get a little insight into the theme that I'm using for the very last month of it. So I hope you all enjoy your day today and get done what you need to get done. And if you don't, well, there's always tomorrow. and there'll be all those tomorrows for another 15 days, and then it'll be Christmas Day and it'll be too late to do anything about anything. So thanks a lot, and I'll see you tomorrow, everyone. Enjoy. Well, I've come out this morning to get my photograph for my Phenology Wheel, and this is how my front gate archway is looking. I've got it propped up on a piece of post because the whole thing has collapsed and all rusted off here. Look, the piece totally missing out of it. It's just totally collapsed. Now I think I'm going to have to prune that down entirely before I go away. We'll see. Anyway, I've come out to take my photograph for today, so I'm going to I thought it would be nice with these dogwood branches across the sky for the wheel for this month. And you wanted to do the sky again, so it was a bit like January's, but I knew that I didn't want to just copy January and make it just be the same. So I thought I'd just take my photographs through whatever branches I have in the garden and let them go into the painting as well. And so I just used my phone, and I think it's a lovely sky this morning. So I've got blue skies, I've got white clouds. And so I'm just going to set myself up to do, well, that's quite a good one there. And I'll show you what I've got there. I've got a good photograph of the sky. So I'm going back in to paint it now, so you're going to get a sneak peek of the theme for December. Anyway, I'll take you inside. So today's the 9th. I've already looked up my temperature, and the highest temperature today is 8 degrees, so that's going to go in. So I'll look at my day length. So it's time and date, which is a really good site, and I have it set for Durham. And I can scroll down and find my day length is 7 hours and 22 minutes, which is 1 minute 32 seconds shorter than yesterday. So 7:22 is what I need to put in. And then I just have to paint my image. I've got blue skies and my dogwood coming up from the bottom. Now you'll see that I've got extra things on this month, even though I said it was going to be sky, and that's because I just didn't want to do exactly the same as I had for January. I wanted it to be the sky, but it had to be different in some way. And I just thought if I started taking my photographs through the trees or the bushes that were in my garden, then I'd get an extra dimension. And so I'm still putting in what the weather is, which is like it was in January, but I'm capturing different aspects of the twigs in my garden. So for instance, on the 5th it was sunny and cold, I had bluish skies, but I've got some pink roses still hanging on, and I managed to get them into my photograph. And here there's Cotoneaster. This is the Amelanchier. I've got the willow, that's Photinia, and today I've got the dogwood. So I'm going to just leave that there so I can see it. And I've got my water here, just my clean water. I'm going to use a biggish brush. So I'm just going to put water on first on the whole image. And just make sure that my paper is wet. And then I'm going to aim for the cloudy sky. And let's have a look. I do usually just pick things up and put water in them till I think they look right. And I usually practice the colour. I never know whether that cerulean is any good. So I'll practice the colour on here. Don't think I like that. I'll take more of this one. Just pick some up on water. That's much better. I think that's the one I'm going for. I'll make sure again that my little image is wet. I'll pick up my blue and I'm just going to let it come off my brush and go where it may, and try and recreate that sort of a white clouds in the sky. And this is how I've changed since January. In January I would have been trying to paint in the clouds, and I don't do that now. And I think probably to make sure I can capture enough clouds, I'm going to just say that that is it. That is as simple and as quick as that. I've got a totally different blue from yesterday, but sometimes I'm better at doing them. I'm going to put a bit blue on there. There, making that a different blue. Sometimes when they dry I get a surprise and I think that's not the blue I was aiming for. So I'll let that dry and then I'll just need to put in my plants. Well, it's all dry now, and so normally I just give myself a little bit of an idea with my pencil as to where I want things to go, and I'm just going to sort of take the essence of this. So I like these really long stems here, and so just going to put it in, just gives me the idea. And I do like it to look, you know, like I'm trying to draw. I'm not going to put the telephone lines in, the electricity lines. And there's a lot coming up from the bottom, but as long as I get some main ones in, I'm happy. I think that's all I need really. What I'll do, I'll mix up a bit of colour with my bigger brush, and then I'll use my tiny brush. So those stems are actually orange, and you probably can't pick it up on the camera, but I can still see the oranginess of them. So I'm going to mix myself up a bit of colour here and just put it on there. I use some yellow ochre, some orange, a bit of red and some brown. I do just go from colour to colour. And I'll do a bit of Payne's grey in there to darken it down. And I'll see how that works, because it is really in shadow. So I'm going to take my fine brush. I just go in with a bit of a light touch to see what happens. And hopefully get something that looks pretty decent. Just keep picking up my mixture. I do simplify the things down a little, because otherwise it would be too confusing in such a small space. But I still need to get the essence of what I'm trying to paint. I like the fact that I've made the puddle of paint with the big brush, and then I don't have to worry about picking up the paint. So I'm just making the essence of what's there. I'm going lightly at the beginning, just so I can darken it down afterwards. And there are bits of leaf hanging on here, but I'm not sure whether that would be a good idea for me to put in. The branch coming in from there. I think that's all I need. So now I'm going to darken everything down, and I'm not going to go over the whole thing, but I definitely don't want it to be so light, so I'll just almost draw over it. I'm being quiet because I'm concentrating so much. Yeah, I have to concentrate so much doing this fine stuff, or else I have been known to just make total mistakes. Anyway, I think I'm quite happy with that. Oh, that's a bit dark, a bit blue. Actually, I do like to mix it up with the bigger brush. Just get myself some more browny red. That looks better to me. And pick it up with a little brush. I think I'll call that a day. I think that looks pretty okay. I think I've got the essence of what that picture was on there. Well, I hope I have anyway. And so that's it. That's how I do my phonology wheel every day. Just wash my brush and I go back away till tomorrow. Oh, I still have to write on there. I'll just write it on. I'll let my palette dry. And these are just Winsor & Newton, but they are the professional ones, because when I started at the beginning of the year, I just wanted to know I was using good paper and good paint to give myself the chance of doing some good work. So I let that dry and then I just close it up. You can see it's well used. Anyway, I just need to write on, I'm just going to put sunny skies. Sunny skies, and I've just painted blue, which I'll make it a little bit darker, and paint it into the number as well, like that. And so that's December 9th finished. I hope that's given you an insight into what I do each day. And bye from Marion's World, and like, support, subscribe, all those things I'm supposed to be saying. See you tomorrow. Bye everyone.